This is a message for all residents of Laleham and Shepperton Green. There's an important by-election on Wednesday, the 25th of May. There are only 3 candidates standing: the Tory candidate, the Green candidate, and me. There's no Labour candidate. There's only one candidate who will stand up against cuts in public services and who truly wants to end the Spelthorne housing crisis. That's me, Paul Couchman, standing for the Trade Unionist and Socialist Coalition, or TUSC. The local newspaper, the Surrey Advertiser, carried a report in 2017 with the headline, "Spelthorne Housing Council admits it has a severe shortage of affordable homes. There's more than 2,000 wait for social housing." Well, it's 5 years on, and Spelthorne now has over nearly 3,000 families on its housing waiting list. Many of these families are living in poor, cramped and unfit conditions, often in the homes of other family members or friends, desperately waiting for the offer of a space that they can call home, often waiting for years. A more recent report by the paper showed that a family would need combined earnings of well over £100,000 a year to get a mortgage to buy the average house in the borough. How many of us earn anywhere near that amount? There's now a whole generation of local young families who can no longer afford to live here. Since 2016, only around 300 new homes have been built each year, mainly for the well-to-do. Very few of these new builds have been affordable. In 2017, only 3%, 10 homes. In 2018, only 1.9%, 6 new built homes, were affordable. Well, what do they mean by affordable? The government's own definition when it comes to renting is that affordable homes should cost no more than 80% of the average local market rent. And affordable mortgages can cost more per month than the affordable rent, but less than the average market value. This is hardly affordable if you're a family living on or just above the minimum wage, like so many hard-working families in Spelthorne. The council talks about grand Spelthorne plans, currently consisting of a few high-rise blocks of yet more posh apartments. The Greens have done a deal with the Lib Dems on the council and are single-mindedly fixated on the Greenbelt issue, actually demanding that the council builds less homes. The Independents, all ex-Tories, ex-UKIP or both, are just complaining about the skyline, i.e. not in my backyard. No one on the council is talking about what is really needed: a mass programme of publicly owned council house building and a cap on the rents charged by private landlords. I grew up in council housing. We always had somewhere safe and secure to live. I was born in a council flat. When the family grew, we moved to a bigger flat, then again into a nice 3-bedroom semi, so we could be near where my mum's elderly parents lived. These were the first steps into independence for most young families, but it feels like a different world now. Most social housing has been sold off and nothing new's been built for decades. Spelthorne Council has the power and the resources to build hundreds of good quality, environmentally sustainable, carbon neutral family homes within its borders, whilst protecting the green belt. The building work should be done in-house with high quality controls. They should employ local builders and apprentices on trade union terms and rates of pay. There are masses of brownfield sites, ex-office blocks, etc., which could be turned over to social housing. What is missing is the political will. We need the voice of the working class to be heard in the council chamber. I'm prepared to be that voice. I'll fight tooth and nail for decent housing for the working class people in the borough. Also, like all TUSC candidates and councillors, I will never vote for cuts to jobs and services. Some of the local issues and campaigns I've supported over the years, including saving local schools from closure, campaigning against the Shepperton incinerator and the deadly gravel lorries on our roads. I've campaigned for Shepperton and Spelthorne as a whole to be brought into the Transport for London area so that Oyster cards can be used here. I've campaigned over the years against cuts in fire services, health services, children's centres and more. I've been an active supporter of the Truth About Zane campaign since little Zane was killed in the floods of 2014. And you can just Google Truth About Zane if you haven't heard about that outrageous cover-up. More recently, I want local residents to have a much bigger say in what is happening at Shepperton Studios. As a councillor, alongside an active local residents group, I could be so much more effective. I would arrange local meetings and briefings with the residents to discuss these issues and many more. If you live in the Laleham and Shepperton Green ward and agree with what you've heard, then please do vote for TUSC. For me, Paul Couchman, the Socialist candidate, on Wednesday the 25th of May. or immediately by post when your postal votes arrive. But don't leave it there. You can also join the Spelthorne Socialists by logging on to socialistparty.org.uk or search for Surrey Socialists on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you for listening.